From an offensive standpoint, as a superstar, but let's give him credit for his defense as well when he was defending Reggie Jackson on that last shot and forced that that three at the buzzer that didn't go in. Kyrie Irving, I remember watching him in game 1 of the NBA Finals. I thought he played pretty damn good defense before he ended up getting hurt. And so he has that capability. He can those kind of things, and I give credit where credit is due in that regard. He deserves it.
I agree. Last point, I'm going to open myself up on this. You'll say I shouldn't bring this up, but I got to. I'm going to talk about the game you were at on Friday night. Last night, when Kyrie made the big shot, LeBron just gave him a fist, like, way to go. But remember what LeBron did when Kyrie made that big corner three on Friday night with 40-some seconds left, and we see that? LeBron just went over the top crazy, celebrating, and trust me on this, it's the kind of thing that Kyrie hasn't loved about LeBron and won't love going forward, because LeBron celebrated like he was just some sub off the bench who made a big clutch shot for the first time. Kyrie has been doing this for 2 years for this team. It's not new, and he treated him like it was a shocking thing that Kyrie made that shot. Did you see how over the top LeBron? I never seen him like that, celebrating, scrunching his face up. I couldn't get it, because trust me, Kyrie doesn't love it because it's condescending to Kyrie. It's like he's done this before. He's been there and done that from that corner before. Treat him like a co-star, not some sub who shockingly, unexpectedly made a big shot. That's my 2 cents. I got to throw it in.
Your 2 cents is worth minus 2 cents.
Yeah,
it makes no sense whatsoever.
I think it makes
and you know
sense.
I was going to say that. That's why you brought it up. Here's the reality of the situation. Detroit's a very, very, very tough team.
They are.
And
I agree.
Every pivotal moment counts, because you don't want to have to play them an extra minute more than you have to. And when Kyrie hit that shot, essentially sealing the deal, it put them on the brink of elimination, the Detroit Pistons. And I think that's what LeBron is celebrating. The fact that Kyrie made that big shot in that big moment. Now, you can sit there and talk about what Kyrie has been doing for 2 years. That's not the case as it has pertained to the playoffs. Because remember, for the most part, throughout the playoffs last year, he was hurt. And this year, and so to get an opportunity to do that, it might have been a little extra, but so what? If you're going to sit up there and expend that level of emotion, what's wrong with going out on the court and expressing it in an enthusiastic fashion? If acted as enthusiastically, then somebody like you would have said, oh, he might not have appreciated it enough. Just the other day, who could put it past you? Let's stop that. And then last week, just the other day rather, James Harden sits there and makes his big shot, and everybody's on the bench celebrating except Dwight Howard, and it was news that Dwight Howard wasn't as enthusiastic enough. So Dwight Howard wasn't as enough. LeBron James is too enthusiastic. Man, sometimes these players just can't win. It's just so ridiculous how they get dissected sometimes. And Skip Bayless just initiated the latest ridiculous, throw into, analyzing LeBron's emotions. It's ridiculous.
Did you hear me criticize the Rockets bench on Friday? Did I say a word about it? I did not. No. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I did not say you said anything about the Rockets. I said folks were saying, and then I came to you. So don't change the narrative and act like I said you called out the White when I did not say that. I'm talking about you reaching when it comes to LeBron. This is what you do. This is what you do. You can't help yourself. You can't help yourself.
Some people out there will agree with me. Right now they're saying, thank you for saying that.
Wow. That's what you go about. Some people will agree with you. Okay. Okay.
We are feisty on a Monday. The Cavs will go against the winner of the Hawks-Celtics series. That, of course, is tied up at 2 right now. First, Chicago for the draft will be live at Harry Caray's 7th inning stretch this Thursday and Friday. Doors open 8 a.m. local, but seating will be limited, so come early. Chicago. It'll be fun. We hope to see you there. And as Stephen A. first reported, Byron Scott is out as Lakers head coach after just 2 seasons. The Lakers decided not to pick up Scott's contract option for this upcoming season after he failed to meet performance incentives according to Scott currently has the worst career win percentage among NBA coaches who have coached at least 1,000 games at only 41%. Not only that, but Scott's 2 seasons as the Lakers head coach resulted in the 2 worst individual win percentages in franchise history. With Scott now out, the Lakers will 6th head coach, Stephen A., since 2011. Was his firing fair or unfair?
Well, it was fair in terms of the level of production because they had to make moves. It's unfair because it's just Jim Buss's way of trying to find a scapegoat. Fired.
Yeah.
He has to go. I'm not saying he's the one that made this decision because obviously Jeannie Buss and others had something to do with it. But Jim Buss has to go. Let me piggyback off of it to say this about Byron Scott. That, he's got such a bad winning percentage. And here's why. He didn't have a bad winning percentage when he was coaching in New Jersey. He didn't have a bad winning in New Orleans, I apologize. He had a bad winning percentage because he took over the Cleveland Cavaliers after LeBron had left. And then he took over this Lakers situation because unfortunately in this day and age, particularly when you're an African American and you're looking for a coach in NBA circles, the opportunities seem to be few and far between. But we'll discuss that at another time. He had to take the job and he didn't have the talent. And more importantly, Byron Scott is not the kind of coach that can coach young talent, in my opinion. He's a guy who's more suited to coach the game rather than having to teach the game. There are guys who can teach, and there are guys who can coach, and there are guys who can do both. He's a guy that coaches as opposed to teach. And you got guys there that are too young, didn't really know how to play, still learning, and it is what it is. But in the end, again, it's fair because if you're the Lakers, you can't 21-win season followed up by a worse 17-win season, a 38 and 126 record, only winning 23% of your games. Talking to folks about change and how we'll move in the right direction, but then turn around and keep the same coach that has presided over all of this. All I'm saying is they can't stop there. Make sure they get rid of Jim Buss because his fingerprints are all over this ineptitude. The man is awful as an executive, and he has to go because if he doesn't go and Jeannie Buss doesn't have the courage to fire him, nothing's going to work, Skip. I was on SportsCenter last night, and I told him simply what they should do. And by the way, I knew this was coming with Byron Scott weeks ago. It was just a matter of time when I could say so. But here's the reality. Go to Jerry West, who the Buss family has alienated. Jerry West, and you beg this man to come back and run basketball operations. His son is already in the front office for the Los Angeles Lakers. You sit there and say,